Welcome to this Franklin Public Schools screencast. This screencast is to give the staff a preview of the new PowerTeacher Gradebook, which we're going to start using in August. The new gradebook, one of the great things about it is that it is all accessible completely online from your PowerTeacher account. So we've been using PowerTeacher for doing things like attendance and lunch counts and things like that, depending on what school you're at. But now your gradebook is actually built into your PowerTeacher account. So no more PowerGrade, no more having to deal with data files. We had some issues where there were different technological problems with gradebook files disappearing and things like that. Everything is now fully in the PowerTeacher portal, which is great. When you go into your PowerTeacher account, over here on the left side, you'll probably see this tab now, but we have not used it. The tab is the Gradebook tab. When everything's set up for August, this is where you'll go to get to your gradebook. If you go there now, you won't see what I see. When you go there, there will be this button that says Launch Gradebook, and this will launch your gradebook as its own window. And again, it's all fully online. Now with it being online, I'm just going to minimize some things here so we can see our gradebook. With it being online, just like before, nothing goes out until you put the information in. So it's not like parents will be seeing anything that you don't want them to see until you enter it in there. And there's some settings that are actually in place now in the new version where you can decide when those things are able to be seen. So here is the gradebook. Kind of the same look as before. You've got I'm looking at one of my classes right now, and I've got my score sheet area here where it shows different assignments that I've been adding. I've been using this and testing this version this quarter to get ready for the fall. One of the great things I like is over here, the current classes show up all on the side. So no more having to go to your classes drop-down menu and pulling down to the class you want to see and waiting for it to open and having that long lag time. You just simply come over here, you click on whichever class you want to see, all the information here changes to that class. So it's a quick way to maneuver between your classes. Down here on the side there is this area that's called student groups. I haven't used this a lot, but from what I understand you can create a group of students in that particular class that you want to monitor for whatever reason. So let's say you have some athletes in your class and you're trying to monitor their eligibility and you have to calculate their grades every Friday. You can create a subgroup of those students and look at that by just clicking on that group. Like I said, I haven't played with it too much, but it's a new feature in this new version. Across the top, these are the different areas of the gradebook, kind of like we had on the buttons on the Power Gradebook. Some of the features and some of the ways the information is viewed is a little bit differently, but like I said, all of it is an improvement from what I've seen. So I'm on the score sheet area right now. I'm going to look at assignments. And when I go into assignments, it shows all my assignments for a particular class. If I wanted to create a new assignment, I would just click the plus icon and I could type in my assignment. I could choose a category. It still uses categories just like before, whether you just want to categorize your assignments or if you're actually using weighted grades, works very much the same. You can choose your points possible. You can click this little calendar to choose the due date of when that assignment is due. And one of the things I like now is they've added this feature here where if you want to create an assignment but you don't want it to count in the final grade, you can simply uncheck this box. Might be great for that teacher that just is making an area or an assignment in there that you want to check off things as students turn them in. Maybe you don't want it to count towards an actual grade. You could uncheck this and use it kind of as a checklist. There's also this new feature, this publish feature per assignment. When you create the assignment, you can decide if you want to publish that assignment immediately. So that publishing meaning that it's viewed by the students or by the parents that come in and log in to see their grades. You can have it published on a specific date, so many days before the assignment is due, maybe a week before it's due, on the due date, or one of the choices is never. You probably won't ever choose never unless it's, like I said, it's a checklist thing for you that really doesn't matter for the grade. But this is great. This gives you some more options. If you put all your assignments in ahead of time but you don't want them to be viewed until closer to the due date, you could set this up per assignment. And again, you could choose a calendar date and so on and so forth. So that's just some information about the assignment area. The student area, I'm not going to save those changes. The student area, accessible now in your gradebook, is information about your student, their ID number, their birthday, and then their home phone number, all that stuff. Some of that stuff you had to go to the PowerTeacher portal in the past for. Now it's all accessible right in the gradebook. The grade setup area, similar to before, where you can choose if you're going to use total points or categories, and you can set up your categories. One of the great things I like about the categories is that now they're color coded. So when I go back and I look at my score sheet, I've been entering assignments, I can see, just as a good visual, the different color coding for the different categories of assignments I give. So if I see that all these blue ones, these are all the different classwork assignments or homework assignments that I do. These orange looking ones are my tests or quizzes, and so on and so forth. Another thing they added is these drop-down menus here at the top, where you can, if you just want to see just the classwork assignments for this class you're looking at, you can click on classwork and it just shows the classwork assignments. If I want to see just my students' tests or quizzes, I can click that and it just shows the tests or quizzes. So just a quick sort feature that has been added. The class info page is just kind of like the one in the gradebook, where you can type in a paragraph or some information on what you want the students or the parents to see about your class. It's kind of your quick little blurb about your class, so that would be typed in here. The reports area, I like these reports a lot better than I like the ones that we currently have in PowerGrade. So if you want to print a quick attendance grid, you just come in here, you choose attendance grid, you make your choices, and you decide to run the report, and then you can print it off. You can also decide how you want the layout to look. You can put little notes at the bottom or the top, or create a signature line. The functionality of this is a lot better. It was too hard to make reports in the previous version of PowerGrade. So those are the areas at the top, and just by clicking them, everything again is in this window. Down here at the bottom, you can also see that in the summary area, if I click this little tab here, it toggles up the mean, the median, and the mode per assignment. So going across, I can see kind of how the progress of my students is based on the mean, median, mode of an assignment, if you are interested in that kind of thing. You may notice these little markers. One of the things they did get rid of in this version is the ability to use those grade codes that we created as a district, where we would type in NHI for not handed in. Rather, there's different ways to approach something like that now. One thing you can do is, if you right click on an assignment, you can choose to give it a little marker. For example, this student, I chose the missing because he hadn't turned that assignment in, so it puts this little orange M for missing here, and that's a marker for me. The students or the parents do not see that. All they see right now is the 0. But what you can do is, if a student didn't turn an assignment in and you reminded them twice, or there was some discussion that was had about that, you can now leave a personal comment by assignment that the students and the parents can see online. So if this student, if I want to leave a comment, asked the student twice for this assignment, I can leave that. Again, you don't have to do that, but it's a more personalized approach at leaving a comment for why an assignment might not be there. What else? The seating chart, that is one of the things that they took out. So if you use the seating chart in PowerGrade where you could arrange the pictures, that's not in this version. I looked on the PowerSchool in their information, and they are working on it. They've been hearing from a lot of districts that they like that feature, so they're hoping to add that back in. I've already worked out some ideas on if you like that, or like to be able to print off your seating chart with the pictures. We've got some ways that we can show you that in August. So all in all, some great things have been added. It's a lot smoother, it's a lot quicker. Again, it's accessible from any computer, so you don't have to necessarily be on your district computer, but just some great functionality. It's very smooth. So really excited to move to this, and we'll be training you in August how to use this new version. Have a great summer. Thanks for watching.